I'm content creator and the founder of Joie G113, Joie Gharrity. I worked in the Hollywood entertainment industry for 15 plus years at top companies in film, television, original web content, and brand entertainment. Every episode, I start by sharing a Hollywood story along with a superstar branding and marketing strategy and tip that you can implement quickly and easily so you can take your biz to superstar status on the Red Carpet Guide to Branding and Marketing Live. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I am Joie Gharrity. I'm your content creator. You can also learn more about me at joieg113.com. I love branding and marketing. I'm passionate about it because I know it is a great way in order to call in your ideal clients and quit chasing clients, but instead call them in. Again, you can learn more about me at joieg113.com, about my products and my services, my books, my shows, and more. Okay, so I always start with a Hollywood story. So today's Hollywood story is all about the red carpet, about the rules of the game. So when I first arrived in Hollywood, I was mentored by high level leaders in Hollywood, and they taught me to do the research, right? To learn how to connect the dots out there. And so what I sat down and did is I just started consuming as much knowledge as possible. And so I want you to do the same in your arena, right? Of course, we're experts as we walk into the arenas, but get to know the arena on a very deep level. And rather than try to learn it all at once, just start learning bits and pieces so you can start connecting the dots. Connecting the dots is a great way to jump into a bigger marketplace out there, and also to not to overwhelm yourself, right? So do the research. I meet entrepreneurs and sometimes they want to break the rules and they don't want to do the research. They don't want to learn. They think that they already know it all. And I'm telling you, you're never going to know it all anyways, right? But instead, be a constant learner, a constant seeker. And those dots, they will create magic for you and your brand. Okay, so today's topic is how to incorporate purpose-driven content to call in your ideal client, part two. It's part two, sisters and brothers. You can grab part one. I always share tangible strategies, techniques, and tips. So you can learn more on part one and watch that show as well. So purpose-driven content, right? Let's talk about that. Purpose-driven content is when you emotionally connect with your target audience based on their shared needs and interests. Here's something else I want to encourage everyone out there to do is get to know your clients' interests and needs, right? Because they might not always be what you think they should be, right? So that can be really easy for us to be able to push our needs or interest on our clients, but instead let's get to know theirs. And a great way to do that is with polls, right? On Facebook, you could do a lot of polls. You could do email polls. You could literally just call some of your potential ideal clients and ask them if they'd have 5 or 10 minutes just to, talk with you. And so you can go off a list of questions that will help you lead to what are their interests. Just ask them, what would you be interested in learning more about? What's happening in your company? Where do you need the most help right now, right? And get really detailed. Then compile all that research for yourself. And then that's where you should be focusing in terms of your ideal client's needs out there and wants. And so you want to then create purpose driven content around your client's ideal needs and wants, right? And therefore, you're not wasting energy, you're not wasting your time and your money. And instead, you're calling in your ideal clients because they know that you're thoughtful, you're mindful, and that you are the solution to their problem. All right. So ask yourself, and you want to ask yourself, how does your brand uniquely touch and improve lives out there? We make a huge impact in the marketplace. So give yourself a lot of credit and just ask yourself daily, how am I going to improve more lives out there? How is my brand, my products, and my services going to improve others' lives out there? And and always lead with being of service. I'll have clients in the marketplace sometimes ask me how they can get more visible because it can feel really uncomfortable. I'm like, start your day by asking, how can I be of service today? How can I show up out there, share my gifts and talents with the marketplace out there, and make a real impact? Therefore, it takes that whole uneasiness out of you showing up big every day because you're there to be of service first, right? And when you're of service, you're opening doors for others to do the same. And that's a great way to lead out there with your company brand and with your personal and professional with your personal and professional lifestyle out there, right? Because we all have one we're branding out there, right? So lead with by being of service. It's a great way to show up every day. It will fill your heart with joy. You'll be making a real impact out there. Then you'll want to engage with your core customer by sharing tangible solutions. Now, here's the thing, guys, is that tangible solutions means that they're not just philosophies. And so I sometimes see the marketplace sharing a lot of philosophy, and that's okay. If you're in a particular arena, like if you are a inspirational speaker, let's say, fantastic, right? Because we love storytelling. Human beings, we vibe off of storytelling, right? But if you really want to get um, call in your ideal clients with purpose content, right? You want it to be tangible, something that they can hook into. So, and you can do it in small bites out there. You don't have to give away the cow, but you want to do it in a way where it's tangible, where they can put it into real time. And once they see the results, who's going to be the queen? Who's going to be the king? You, right? So think tangible. Now, when you sit down and you're putting together your purpose driven content, ask yourself, is this a philosophy, right? Or is this a tangible deliverable, right? And how is this going to impact my ideal clients so that I can call them in out there, right? And so I'm going to give you a tangible right now. Okay. So you want to put a face to the brand for public recognition. Okay. So in other words, you want your face to be on as much content as possible for face recognition. Okay. So I did that with my book, Being Your Own Superstar. Literally put myself on the cover for face recognition, right? So that when people, they would connect emotionally with me, not just with my book, but with me, Joey G113. Okay. So I want you to really consider how you're going to do that. And so take headshots, for instance. So on Fridays, I share my weekly wrap up. It's my way of standing in my spotlight, right? Being of service, right? So others can do the same. And I share all the highlights from my week, and I tag and I spotlight other people that were part of my week. You know, in the episode part one of this series, I talk about that. I talk about spotlighting other brands and how impactful it is. And so it's my way of being of service, but it's also my way of getting visible. And I put my headshot on there, one of them. Um, this is one of my casual ones, right? And for face recognition. So I want you to be thinking about how you're going to be sharing your purpose driven content to call in your ideal clients so you're not chasing clients and you're putting your face on it. I will see endless entrepreneurs who it's just like they're using stock footage like crazy, which by the way, I love myself some stock footage. So I've got a lot of that too. However, I never see their face. So I'm not saying every day, but I'm saying a minimum of once a week, put your face on the brand for public recognition. It will really help you to grow the muscle, the visibility muscle, get stronger and stronger and stronger. At first, it's going to feel incredibly uncomfortable, but with time, it will feel more at ease. Again, this is a great purpose driven content strategy. So, really, once a week, okay, minimum once a week. And while you're doing this, I do my wrap up, but I also put my face recognition. I use a headshot once a week when I'm sharing stories. I'm sharing stories about my journey. And I tell you, nothing is going to emotionally connect faster with the marketplace than you sharing your stories. And not just all the ups, the downs too, brothers and sisters. Okay. So you want to talk about authentically about the journey. It doesn't have to be a personal journey either. If you don't want to do that, don't do that. I get that. Right. However, you do want to talk about your journey. And so I talk about my journey as an entrepreneur. I call it being your own superstar. And that we every week I blog about my journey, and guess what? I added my headshot for face recognition, okay? So, like, you'll be able to find this across my social media channels, right? So you guys can go check it out. It's called Being Your Own Superstar Share, and I'll pick a topic that week. So, for instance, one week I talked about how to show up even when things are feeling super uncomfortable, right? Because that's just being authentic. And I talked about how I'm doing that, and I use tangible shares of how I'm doing that. But another week, I'll talk about a journey. I just talked about how I was walking on a highway down by the beach that's closed off, and how the whole time I felt really uneasy about it, right? Because I there's typically cars, right? But how I kept internally, as a human, thinking it red light, and how I was pushing through and getting to the green light, and how that is helping to shape my intentions, right? Both personally and professionally, to step off the sidewalk. In other words, step out of my box, right? That box that we love to live in, that comfort box, right? Yeah, no, that's not how we step into higher, bigger playing fields. So, but be creative, talk about what you want to talk about. All right, something else I want to talk about, another red carpet strategy share, is get behind a cause, right? As you're growing your influence, what a great way to also spotlight something you really passionate about, that you really care about. Get behind a cause. One of my causes is getting behind human trafficking and stopping that out there, and shining a light on it. Another cause for me is also food banks. So get behind a cause out there, right? Talk about the cause out there, right? Shine a spotlight on it out there. It's a great way of leveraging your influence that you've been building, but being of service to community, and volunteer or partner up with the cause and make a difference, right? That makes your heart go, it makes your heart sing, right? It's a great way to emotionally connect with with purpose-driven content out there, and with your ideal client, because like-minded people, right, is going to be called in. And I gotta say, people that are like-minded around volunteering and causes, they make for my ideal client, right? Because I know that they have big hearts, that they think that they're we's, they're not I's. They have we behavior out there. I love my ideal clients to be we's. Okay. That's my ideal client out there. So what kind of cause, how can you make a difference? Because you can really making an impact. Remember earlier I talked about this, right? You really are making an impact out there. Believe it. Believe it. Okay. And how to do that is to show up bigger. So show up with a cause. Um, you can grab now anyone out there that is grappling with social media and marketing, you can grab my book, The Red Carpet Guide to Visibility and Influence, right? You hear me drop the influence and the visibility a lot, right? It is directly linked to your earning power, directly linked to your earning power. So if you want to make more money in your business and your bottom line, let's say you want to double it, then double your visibility and your influence out there. Okay. So you could grab the book. It also doubles as a guidebook. I would take you step by step at how you can create an impactful social media marketing campaign for yourself that's both visible and influential. And also too, I talk about inner game in here so that you can step into a bigger spotlight. Grab a copy of Being Your Own Superstar, okay? This is with my face on it, for face recognition. I know this took courage, sisters and brothers. If you are an entrepreneur and you're about to drop a book, right, with your expertise in it, right, consider putting yourself on the book for face recognition, right? Takes courage, but boy, it's going to go a long way, because this is the ultimate business card, right? This is all about inner game. This is all about inner game. I have a 30-minute inner game daily habit system in here, right? That you can just follow step by step. This is how to get on bigger playing fields, right? Because as you grow your visibility and influence out there, you're going to want to have a strong inner game, particularly when you're getting really clear and calling in your ideal clients. I love 100 TV, so grab Ross Brand's book, 100 Live Streaming and Digital Media Predictions by Ross Brand on Amazon. It's great. He asked 100 plus influencers. I'm in all three of the editions, about what upcoming trends. And here, want to know about connecting dots? Here's a great way to connect some dots, right? Because as you read through the trends, you'll start seeing a thread of dots that are being connected by influencers of what you can expect digitally and how you can be incorporating it into your brand out there. All right. Well, listen, you can learn more about me and my products and services at Joey G113. Before I go, I do want to share a story with you. Um, what's behind the Joey G113 brand, right? Why do I call it Joey G113? Well, for Joey Gharrity, right? But I like to be called Joey G. But 113 is actually very symbolic for me. It is it is a story which you'll find at joeyg113.com, a blog over there about how I created the name around my homage or my respect towards Chanel, Coco Chanel, and Marilyn Monroe, two of my favorite women entrepreneurs out there, both powerhouses at times when women were, it was very difficult to have any kind of real influence and power, particularly in Hollywood and then in the fashion industry. But Chanel, was she her Coco Chanel perfume, Chanel number 5, hit the United States in a major way when reporters asked Marilyn Monroe what she wore to bed every night, and she said she only wore one thing, and that was Chanel number 5. That was her way of spotlighting another brand, right? And helping and uplifting another woman entrepreneur out there. And so the Chanel number 5 hit the scene in a huge way, and it took Coco to a whole other echelon of influence out there. And I loved how Marilyn used her influence, right? She used her influence out there to help someone else by spotlighting their brand. I talk about this a lot in my books. I talk about this a lot in my strategies. So go over to Joey G113. I talk a lot about how you can be spotlighting other people's brands. And when you spotlight others, the spotlight turns back and spotlights you as well. So I just want to thank you all for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you on the red carpet, right? Next week for another episode of the Red Carpet Guide to Branding and Marketing. And I appreciate you. It is your birthright to stand in your spotlight, sisters and brothers, and shine bright. Until next time.